Hi guys, it's Jess. Welcome and welcome back to the Not Carrie Bradshaw YouTube channel. In this video, we have to review Season 2, Episode 7, Lux on the Bluff, Flamingo on the Bluff of Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. This, again, everybody in this house is going through so much, and this is supposed to be a vacation, yet no one is able to take a mental vacation from what's going on in their lives. So we're tapping back in. It's the morning after the really big blow up where Summer completely lost her shit because she's feeling jealous that Noelle is building a closer friendship with her friends. I have a friend like this, that she can be quite possessive over her friends. And for me, I love when my friends meet my friends and people get along. There are some people that inspires jealousy, like they want to be the center of things. And when those people start looking like they're having more fun, the other person, who introduced them starts feeling excluded. And since Summer is the person who brought Noelle into the house, I think that Summer feels like Noelle should have some manner of loyalty to her, which she does, but Noelle is also a very likable social person. So it makes sense that she would form relationships with other people in the house that are like her. And I get where Summer is coming from a very human perspective, but I also think that Summer is the kind of person that does not know how to be a good friend when her life isn't going well. And I don't mean showing up or calling. I mean, you're lashing out at the people closest to you because life is really hard for you and you don't know how to say that you need help. So when Summer and Noelle have a conversation about what took place, Noelle reassures her, like, hey, it's okay to tell the people in your life who love and care about you that you're not okay, but I'm starting to see some things here and I need some space. So they hug it out, but I think that Noelle is very cautious of Summer now because of what she has seen Summer do. What I was reminded of this episode is that once again, Summer got into a bad headspace and lashed out in a way that violated someone else's privacy. The whole thing with Jordan. I do think that Jordan was being a bit extra, saying that Summer revealed her personal or private information to Jasmine, but there does seem to be a pattern here of you feel attacked, you feel away, you feel overwhelmed by life, so suddenly you want to bring up how Alex has been inside of you and Bria's man don't want her, like these very private things. That is such a violation of girl code, of friend code. If a person is truly your friend and y'all truly have a rapport and a relationship, like a significant relationship, no matter how mad you get at them, you don't spray them with their own tea in mixed company. Like, you just don't do that. So Noelle is picking up on that and it's like, girl, I get it, but I need some space to process. I think that's very, very fair. Nick is running for a marathon. I feel bad for Nick that no one got up to support him. Nobody was there at the finish line. People just kind of casually said good luck. When you have a friend that's running a marathon, you, especially if it's nearby, you go and support them. You meet them at the finish line, especially because Nick is grieving the loss of one of his line brothers. That's a really significant loss. And I get that there was a lot of drama last night and they're like, Nick, read the room. But I don't think that it would have been too much for them to like say, hey, we should go support him. So when he gets back from his run and he's, delegating tasks for everyone for his event that's taking place that night, and his girlfriend is coming. His girlfriend did not have a great time her first time here, so he really wants to make sure that this time is better. Bria is being such an asshole about it, giving very much candy, baby. If you don't want to do it, you ain't got to do it. It's not too much to add. This is a shared house. This is a shared space. When everyone has an event, everyone pitches in to make sure that everything goes well. What is so wrong about him saying, hey, can you just make sure that there's toilet tissue in the bathroom, just kind of straighten that up a bit? I don't think that Nick was asking too much. He might have been a bit of a drill sergeant, but he wasn't doing too much from my perspective. And Bria, if you pride yourself on cooking and cleaning for Simon, why is it such a big deal? Or why do you think that it's beneath you to clean a bathroom that's in a common area? who the fuck do you think you are? Like, Bria continues to just be someone who I have a hard time with people who feel easily put upon and who can't be team players. It takes maybe 15 minutes to clean a bathroom. What is wrong with you? I'm also confused of why Bria is going to Natalie to recount the events of last night. Like, girl, Natalie don't even go here. Y'all don't even have that kind of rapport. Why are you sharing this information with Natalie, who then goes back and recounts it to someone else? And now Jordan and Preston are aware that Summer said that their friendship is too heavy for her. So they confront her about that individually. I thought that Jordan gave her a lot of grace. Um, I think a lot more grace than I would have given her, because it's like, girl, it's none of our faults that life is kicking our asses right now. And to say that our friendship is too emotionally taxing, that's a really hard thing to say when it's really no one's fault. A better thing to say is like, hey, can we bring some levity to our friendship? Which is what Preston and Jordan individually told her. Like, I can be the fun friend if that's what you need. I have absolutely, especially with my sister, if I'm going through something, I know, number one, not to go to her in a heightened state of emotion, because people with ADHD do not respond to that very well. And she also now knows like to ask, what kind of support do you need here? Even my partner, he's learned to be like, what kind of support do you need here? Like, do you need me to like boost you up, or do you need me to just listen? Like, give people the opportunity to be the kind of friend that you need for whatever space you're in life. And I don't think that Summer yet knows how to be vulnerable enough to ask for that. Um, Summer decides that she should be sober for Lux on the Bluff. Great idea. Absolutely wonderful idea. Bria does not want to talk to Summer. Summer had several really tough conversations. To make up for what happened the night before. She has to be sober around a bunch of drunk people. She is emotionally spent. She decides to tap out of the party early. I think that that's a great idea. I think that having those kinds of boundaries is the first step towards not only showing yourself compassion, but also just moving forward, and managing and responding versus reacting. So good for her for at least doing that. Okay, so the evening proceeds, and Nick makes this really amazing speech about the significance of the number 5. He came in 5th place. His and Line Brothers' number was 5. He felt like that number keeps showing up for him. I love things like that. One of the really hard parts about grief is not just missing the person, but wondering if they also miss you. And you start kind of looking for or seeing these little signs that they're still here with you in a way. And I absolutely love that. It's one of the few things that can like kind of get you through a space of grief. And I'm so happy that he has the support that he needs from his friends traveling in to participate in this party. Let me say this. I'm not that kind of Greek. I appreciate that they shared the history for outside people who don't know and the significance of strolling and stepping. I don't frequent events where I'm going to be expected to step or stroll. I do not stroll. I left that behind in undergrad. I'm 36 years old. I'm not doing it. And it's just so interesting how a lot of us, especially on Twitter, can identify this group of people as HBCU Blacks, HBCU Greeks. And there's no tea, no shade to HBCUs, but that phrasing, these are very Jack and Jill Blacks. Of course, they stroll and step at functions. No tea, no shade. We're all very proud of our organizations. I simply don't do that. I caught a glimpse of myself strolling one time and I was like, wow, I look ridiculous. I vowed to never do it again. It's just not my vibe. But I'm happy that Nick got the support that he needed. So Mariah once again confronts Amir about the situation. I don't like Amir. I don't like Amir. I think that he was incredibly dismissive. I think that Mariah is also dragging it, saying that she felt like it was intentional. I don't know why that would have been intentional. I do think that she's kind of like dragging this out a bit. But Amira is also an asshole, and Natalie is wildly insecure. And for her to say that like the Freaknik party just wasn't her vibe, that was such a tame version of what Freaknik actually was. What about it wasn't your vibe? What about it don't you like? And then saying, oh, this is the only thing that I drink. Natalie, fuck off. fuck off. You and Amir, fuck off. You're not fun, pleasant people. I absolutely no to them. Don't like it, don't want it. So the party is going on. Simon comes downstairs in a flamingo costume. This, to me, is one of the reasons I question whether or not I could date a white guy. This looked like a cultural misunderstanding and him being culturally insensitive and not understanding that the gravity of the situation, that this event is kind of a celebration of life and a little bit more serious than you coming down in a flamingo costume. It just, you're not reading the room. This isn't that kind of function. You're trying to center yourself in a way that the rest of these people aren't reading or picking up on. Like, no one needs that from you. No one needs that kind of, I don't know how to explain it. For privileged white people, and some who aren't that privileged, the things that they find fun or humorous can be very confusing to me. Example, there's a very, 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 very wealthy white woman who I know. And she was like, sometimes I just do like the craziest things. I was on the subway with my family and I just sat on my nephew's lap. And it's like, that's just so crazy. Is it? Like, their brand of humor or the things that they consider to be funny or fun don't track with us. Like, just no. And it's difficult to read a room when you're not speaking the same language as everyone else. This isn't the time for that. And they did these flashbacks to him randomly jumping in the pool and dancing on the island. It's just like, you're never really quite picking up on when it's appropriate and when it's not, to center yourself or to try to, I don't know what he was trying to do, but Bria went the fuck off. I felt like I don't like to see couples argue in front of people. I feel like at minimum, out of respect for your person and out of respect for your relationship, take it somewhere else, especially because if y'all move past this argument, it's hard for the people who witnessed it to move past it. Don't expose us to some shit that we not gonna get over, because that's your man and you're gonna forgive him, but it looks crazy to us and we just have to forget that it happened. I hated seeing that whole thing, but that's one of the reasons why, like I said, I would be cautious to date a white person, because it's like, I just don't think that, I don't know how you explain to someone this wasn't appropriate when it's just their mode of operation. It's like, I think that Simon is just a person who doesn't take anything seriously. And he's just like, hey, I'm here. Let's be wild and crazy. This isn't that kind of wild and crazy. This isn't that kind of fun or that kind of party. I don't know how you explain the nuances of why that was a weird thing to do. It was just weird. It wasn't fun. It wasn't funny. It was just weird. Why would you do that? Why would you put that on here and now? It was all very strange. So we'll see what happens next episode. Jasmine is really fading into the background, I guess, like due to the pregnancy. Oh, and can we also say, like, Natalie, why were you so insecure about like Jordan? First of all, they're very shady for showing that one girl's hair and then showing Jordan's wig. I can't even. But the fact that Amir just asked, like, was that Jordan? What about that made you? Lord, I don't like this couple. I don't enjoy them. So let's check back in next week for next week's episode. We'll see where everything lands. Be sure to slide in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's episode. And be sure to subscribe and share, join our Patreon and all of the things. And I'll talk to you guys soon.